Hey everybody, this is Doc and welcome back to another edition of Doc's Boneyard. Hey listen, this week's episode, I'm just going to go ahead and throw that friggin' mantra out even before we get started. And what is it? It's a safe zone but not a comfort zone. Alright, since we got that established, let's get down to the bare bones, the meat and potatoes, the peanut butter jelly. Well, you get the hint. One of my biggest pet peeves is excuses. That's right. There's bullshit reasons why people cannot come up with the truth when it comes to asking them why they haven't done something. And yes, I am just as guilty of coming up with those bullshit excuses for not doing what the hell I need to do. But I will say this, I try to limit that as much as possible. And if I do, hey look, I own it. That's right. I stick my hand up in the air and say, yep, that's me. You got me dead to rights. Guilty as charged, the whole bit. You know, quite frankly, I would rather somebody look me in the eye and say, you know what? I just don't give a shit. What you asked me to do is not a priority for me, so, screw it. I could respect that a hell of a lot more than someone that makes up bullshit excuses time after time for not getting shit done. And let's face it, folks, we have to depend on others to get shit done sometimes. We can't do it alone. But I gotta tell you, it is frustrating as holy fuck for me. That's one of my biggest pet peeves in this world next to stupidity. Well, I think they kind of rank up hand in hand because usually one leads to another, but that's a topic for a whole other podcast. I'm reminded by is it because we're afraid of pissing someone off? Or is it because we don't know the answer ourselves at that given time? I don't know. I think it's a combination of a lot of things. I know I'm a lazy shit until it's time to get shit done. And then I'm all balls to the wall, get the hell out of my way, let's do it, let's get it done, that whole military mentality mindset thing. But yeah, other than that, I'm a lazy shit. And I'm a lazy shit because I can be. Because I've worked my ass off. Now, is that an excuse all the time? Well, probably not. But, I'm not going to come up with some bullshit excuse. That's me. I own it. It's funny. I'm reminded of an old adage by the not so late Commander Richard Dick, Demo Man of the, Shark Man of the Delta, Marcinko, the original commander of SEAL Team 6, who said, you don't have to like it, you just have to do it. Or I'll even throw this little vocal tidbit in from the hero of Desert Storm, General H. Norman Schwarzkopf, who said during a press briefing one day, he said, sometimes you gotta be a son of a bitch just to get things done. And what he was referring to was the ongoing offensive and the speed of it, and it just wasn't going to his liking. So he was an asshole about it, but he was an asshole for the right reason. And that's a perfect segue into my next little tidbit of information. Assholia. Now, when is there a proper amount of assholia to be used, and when is it acceptable? As a connoisseur of fine assholia, and what I mean by fine assholia is the assholia that comes naturally, that's naturally manufactured, it's not pretend. Now, I say that to say this, yes, there are times when you have to be that guy, that asshole, or that woman, that bitch to get shit done. You pull up your big girl panties. Sometimes you may piss somebody off, but you know what? At the end of the day, it's about getting shit done. It's funny, I'm also reminded of a movie quote from the movie Platoon. And the sergeant was telling Chris Taylor, excuses are like assholes. Everybody got one. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking any specific person out there who does use excuses as a way of getting out of shit. But just be honest about it. If you don't want to do it, say screw you, I don't want to do it. It is not important enough for me to waste my time to do what you want. And you know what? I think the world would be a hell of a lot nicer place because of that. I'm going to slip in a little Alice in Chains, a little song called No Excuses. I've got to pay some bills, so I'm going to throw in a couple of commercials, but I'll be back in just a few minutes. Doc's Boneyard is going live and taking over the internet radio. That's right. DBY Radio, hosted by yours truly, will be cranking out some of my favorite bang your head musical Thorazine. Tune in at citrus3.com and look for Doc's Boneyard Radio. A Follow the Boneyard 2021 on Facebook page for live broadcast times, dates, and station links. I'm gonna shatter the DBY safe zone. Hey everybody, it's Doc from Doc's Boneyard. Hey listen, mental health is no joke and the struggle is real. I'm joining forces with Roman Rozelle, a veteran of U.S. Army Special Forces, to help promote mental health awareness. To quote Roman, I wrestle to save lives, including my own. Proceeds from this shirt go to benefit the Special Forces Association Chapter 38, who help many families in their invisible wound struggle. Now you can get yours today by going to collarandelbowbrand.com. That's collarandelbowbrand.com. Just type in the word Roman, R-O-M-A-N, in the search tab. I'm proud to support Roman, and I have this shirt, and I wear mine proudly. You can also find the link at the Boneyard 2021 on Facebook. Looking for that unique, handcrafted, one-of-a-kind gift? Check out Dee's Unique Designs on Facebook. She specializes in custom artistry from paintings to jewelry, coasters to tumblers, and everything in between. That's Dee's Unique Designs on Facebook. Give her your ideas and watch them come to life. Alright folks, I hope that wasn't too painful, but I gotta keep the studio up and running here, so I gotta pay some bills occasionally. But now, we were talking about excuses, and yeah, I really do believe sometimes that people would have more respect for you if you just out and out said the truth instead of coming up with some bullshit reason for not wanting to do it. And like I said before, I am guilty. But what happens when it's not just the simple things, or the little things in life like taking the trash out or forgetting to vacuum the floor? But what about if it's something a little bit more serious and a little bit closer to home? And what I mean is, how about not dealing with that shit mentally and emotionally that we need to deal with? Oh God, and the Doc's going to get all psychobabblish, and yes, he is. I recently saw a video at the vet center, and it was about a husband and wife. Now, I'm not sure the context of the whole video, only the little portion that they showed me. But the woman was sitting there and she had this big ass nail stuck in her forehead, and her husband, being the loving, supportive gentleman that he is, all he wanted her to do was take the nail out of her forehead. Her problems would go away. But she kept saying, I wasn't ready to take the nail out of my forehead, and you need to support me. How many times have we done that? How many times have we left that fucking nail in our forehead knowing damn well how much better life would be if we just pulled that little cocksucker out? Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Yeah, Doc, well, that's easier said than done because you don't know my issues. No, you're right. I don't know your each individual specific issues. But I do know that if you have issues, they're obviously causing you pain, distress, anguish, anxiety, what have you. Would it not be better just to pull up them big girl panties and say, you know what, this is going to fucking hurt like a bitch. Oh, and I really don't want to fucking do it, but I'm going to grab that fucking nail by the head and I'm going to pull that cocksucker out. Yes, I am using a little bit of profanity here, folks, but I am doing that to accentuate the point. Yes, it hurts. It's uncomfortable. I get it. We don't want to do it. But the payoff is worth it. I can tell you from personal experience because that fucking nail was in my head for a shitload of years. The problem was I had no friggin' clue the nail was in my head. That was the sad part of it. Nobody ever stopped to tell me, hey, Doc, you got a fucking nail sticking in your forehead, and maybe if you pulled it out, life would be better. No. And that's a euphemism, folks. The nail was not an actual physical piece of steel implanted in my forehead. Now, it's a metaphor for the shit that I was going through. I realize that we all have to come to that time in our own time, but at what cost? What are we missing? What are we losing out on in the meantime? We are sometimes our we are our own worst enemies. I got a little tongue tied there for a second. Yes, bad things happen to good people. Life takes a giant shit on us for whatever reason. There's things that happen that are beyond our control. But what we can control is how we deal with it and what we do to deal with it. Now, if you're living in a current situation that seems hopeless, that you don't see a way out of, there is always a way out. And I'm not talking about self-harm. No, folks. I'm talking about doing what you need to do, no matter the fear factor, the uncertainty, the pain, the cost. Because in the end, you're going to pay a bigger cost for staying in that situation or doing that destructive behavior than what you would have accomplished if you just said enough. And I realize what I'm saying is not easy. Folks, I have been there. I do this shit every fucking day. I make my mind up every day as to what kind of day I'm going to have. Now, granted, shit happens that, is beyond my control. Okay, great. There's things that happen that I would rather not have happened during the course of the day. But am I going to let that ruin my whole day? Am I going to let somebody else's stupidity or their dumbassness take my happiness and my peace of mind? Fuck that. Life is entirely too friggin' short. I have seen more death and more destruction in my 53 years than I think any one person should have to. So I have been reminded over and over and over again not to take things for granted, because we are not guaranteed a second chance or a third chance or a fourth chance. Some people don't realize that their time is now. And once that chance is gone, you may never get it back. What's going to happen at the end when you know your time is getting close? You're getting ready to cross that so-called etheric plane, so to speak, and you're recounting your life. Do you want to sit back and think, oh, fuck, I wasted all these years on this? I was a better person than that. Or I thought I was a better person than that. Folks, you are better than that. We are all better than our circumstances. Now, I don't know why the good Lord puts things like these in our paths. He allows things to happen. I don't know if it's to build character, to build trust. I don't have answers for that stuff. All I know is we get one life. That's it. Nobody knows how long it's going to be. Nobody knows what's going to happen tomorrow. But you do know what's happening right now. And if it isn't good enough for you, then maybe it's time to make it good enough for you. Take that chance that you know what? That happiness may be just around the corner. And it may be a hell of a lot closer than you think it is. Maybe not so far away. Just a little something to think about here. I'm going to throw in another little musical interlude.
Don't understand who they thought I was supposed to be. Look at me now, a man who won't let himself free. Down in the hole, feeling so small. Down in the hole, losing my soul. I'd like to fly, but my wings have been so down in the hole, and they put all the stars in their place. I've eaten the sun, so my tongue has been burned of the taste. I have been guilty of kicking myself in the teeth. I will speak no more of my feelings beneath. Down in the hole, feeling so small. Down in the hole, losing my soul. I'd like to fly, but my wings have been so bury me softly in this world. Oh, I wanna be inside of you. Give this part of me from. Oh, I wanna be inside of you. Sand rains down and here I sit. Oh, I wanna be inside of you. Oh, I wanna be inside. Down in the hole, feeling so small. Down in the hole, losing my soul. Down in the hole, feeling so small. Down in the hole, out of control. I'd like to fly, but my wings have been so
And FYI, that was Alice in Chains with a cool tune. It's called Down in the Hole. It's off their Dirt CD or Dirt album, if you go back that far. I've given you a lot to think about this week, and believe me, I think about this stuff myself all the friggin' time. I probably spend too much time psychoanalyzing myself, and that could be a good thing or it could be a bad thing. But the truth is this, we have the power. Don't let anyone take your power away. That is your gift to you. As always, I thank you for tuning into my podcasts. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to listen to me ramble incessantly. And yes, I know I say that on every podcast, but you know what? I kind of like the way it sounds. Remember to follow my Facebook page, the Boneyard 2021 on Facebook. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, whatever, hey, drop me a line at the Boneyard 2021 at yahoo.com. That's the Boneyard 2021 at yahoo.com. Also, check my Doc's Boneyard Facebook page for upcoming live broadcasts. And I'm going to try to do one Tuesday night, this coming Tuesday night from 8 till 10 p.m. Eastern Time. I'll be slipping in some of my crazy, famous, whatever. Hell, I don't know what I'm going to put on the playlist, but you never know. I'm sure it'll be good for a good time. And you know what? I actually had a ball doing it for my first live broadcast. I'm going to throw in a couple more shameless promos, plugs, and shout-outs here, and I'll catch you next time. Remember, it's not the fat, the meat, the gristle. It's just the bare bones. See you next time. Hey, Doc's Boneyard fans. Did you know that you can now get officially licensed DBY merch like hoodies, tanks, long and short sleeve tees, phone and laptop cases, and so much more? Visit my merch store, the Boneyard 2021, at teepublic.com. That's teepublic, T-E-E public.com. Hey everybody, it's Doc from Doc's Boneyard. Hey, listen, if you're in the Fayetteville, North Carolina, especially around Fort Bragg, and you're looking for that hard-to-find military badassery gear, why don't you go see my buddy George at Silverback Military Surplus. He's located just outside the Yadkin Gate, 6477C Yadkin Road. He has a wide variety of patches, hats, tactical gear, you name it. Tell him Doc sent you.